Well, here we are. It's episode 2 of season 3. Off the job training is what I've called it. Because in many ways, Jesus is teaching his disciples away from the job. Taking them into a house or a home and talking to them about things they need to learn about. Now, on their way to Capernaum, there's a couple of the disciples having a right old argument about who's the greatest. And you can imagine the argument, can't you, as they're walking along saying, hey, look, I think Abraham was the greatest leader we've ever had. The other guy would say, no, it was Moses, wasn't it? Yeah, but what about Joshua? He was brilliant, wasn't he? Yeah, but what about King David? Now, King David, he was great. Yeah, but his son, he built the temple. So you can imagine the argument, because what they're really looking for is their own greatness. So let me just read what it says within here. It says that, here we go. So they came to Capernaum. When he was in the house, that's Jesus, he asked them, what were you arguing about on the road? But they kept quiet, because on the way they'd argued about who was the greatest. Sitting down, Jesus called the 12 and said, anyone who wants to be first must be the very last and the servant of all. Jesus turns the whole thing on its head. You want to be the best manager? Be the servant to everybody else. And he demonstrated this. In the night before he was executed, he does this. He says, so Jesus got up from the table. He's with his friends, his disciples. He got up from the table, took off his robe, wrapped a towel around his waist, and poured water into a basin. Then he began to wash the disciples' feet, drying them with a towel he had around him. That's exactly the kind of greatness we want to see, which is to see somebody serving and somebody wanting to be able to be the servant of others. So Jesus says, if you want to be the greatest, be the least. If you want to be the last, be the first. If you want to be first, be the last. It's fascinating, isn't it? I don't know what you think about that. If you want to be a great manager, if you want to be a great leader of people, be a servant. I think that's what Jesus is saying. I'd be interested in what you might think about that as well. But there you go. That's my deeper thought about off-the-job training. Thanks for watching.